I can't take this anymore. Today's the day I get you out of this house once and for all. You money-hungry parasite. You witch. Don't think I'll tolerate you for another second.
What's this all of a sudden? I'm in the middle of work.
My son's finally living with me. He doesn't have to pay rent, so he should be able to save up plenty. But because you won't stop spending money on every little thing, he never has enough cash.
What on earth are you talking about? I've hardly been spending enough to be causing a problem.
My son just contacted me in the middle of his business trip. He told me you couldn't keep your spending habits in check, so he needed to borrow $5,000 from me.
He said that to you?
Indeed. Last month, he needed $3,000. The previous month, $2,000. That's $10,000 in 3 months. How much money are you spending to need that much? Why are you determined to suck him dry?
Please calm down and listen to me. You're honestly lending Scott $10,000 out of your own pocket.
That's right. He told me it was a problem just between the two of you, so he didn't want me to tell you anything. He promised to return the money later. Even so, I'm at my limit here. I won't let you torment my son any longer.
I think I see the picture. Carrie, I'm going to be blunt, but I'm not misusing anyone's money.
Don't you dare lie to me. I bet you're not even at work right now, are you? I bet you're out drinking at a bar or something.
No, I'm at the office like usual. What kind of bar out there opens their doors in the middle of the day?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think the one who's doing all the excessive spending is Scott. I told him to stop gambling.
What on earth are you talking about?
He told me not to tell anyone, you especially. But if this is what he wants to do, I think I have to let the cat out of the bag. He got into debt because of his gambling habits, so I've been chipping in to help him pay it off. Yeah, I found out only after we'd already made our marriage official. Honestly, I considered divorcing him on the spot.
Excuse me. My son would never...
But he promised me he'd never do it again. So I decided to trust him just this once.
What the...
I was giving him about $3,000 these past few months for that purpose.
How dare you continue spewing out all this nonsense to me, you crook? Is there no end to your lies? So, what is it? What do you want to tell me exactly? That my son's lying to my face to take my money?
Yeah, I suppose that's how it is. It's a harsh reality that you have to accept.
So, wasting all of his money on frivolous things wasn't enough for you, was it? Now you have to go and make my son into a thief? What a miserable excuse for a daughter-in-law you are.
What?
That aside, he's not the kind of boy who'd go off and do something as heinous as gambling all his money away. I raised him better than that, and he wouldn't want to disappoint his mother.
I understand why you wouldn't want to believe it. His addiction isn't your fault, but it's the truth. Please understand. He's using you.
Oh, wait. Now I understand. You want to worm your way into his kind heart so you can turn around and seize all our assets, as if I'd let that happen.
Please take a minute to calm down. There should be a promissory note written in Scott's hand back at home.
He probably got into that debt because of you. How on earth did you threaten him into doing such a thing?
I don't think I'm getting through to you at all. I feel like you're purposefully misunderstanding me and jumping to conclusions.
Get out of here at once. Don't you dare touch a hair on his head ever again.
I mean, I probably was going to leave eventually. Apart from using me as a scapegoat to get money out of you, I had other reasons why I wanted to divorce him. But for the time being, can you wait until you can talk to him in person?
You do know that my son won't be home for another 3 days, right? I can't stand to live under the same roof as a swindler like you any longer.
Get a hold of yourself. I don't think anything I've said gives you the right to call me that.
Swindler, crook, money-hungry, parasite. Face God and repent for your sins in hell.
Come on. I definitely don't deserve to be treated like the devil.
At any rate, don't ever step foot in this house ever again. I won't allow it.
Just please hang on. I'll contact you after I get out of work.
Don't bother. We're done here.
That was a nasty surprise. No matter how much a mother loves her son, this is... First I've seen who'd go this far to shield him. She's even blatantly misunderstanding me and assuming the worst. It's very frustrating. Well, my name is Jade. I'm 34. I met my husband Scott at a party. I was charmed by his lively personality and fell in love. He returned my feelings, and we began dating soon after. We dated for about 3 months before we decided to get married. I know, it was a little soon. I told him as much. But apparently, he lost his father when he was pretty young. On top of that, he was an only child, and he expressed how he wanted to give his mother some peace of mind. She was getting on in the years and lonely. She deserved someone there to take care of her and keep her company. I was moved by his thoughtfulness, so I agreed to marry him and move into his mother's house with him. But then, immediately after that, I found out he was deep in debt from gambling. All I could think about was how he tricked me. He purposely hid that. Did he think I wouldn't find out? I considered divorcing him on the spot, but I stopped to think about it carefully. I mean, it's true that I personally chose to marry him. In that case, I thought I should give him a chance. And I didn't want to be one of those couples who divorce the second they run into a problem. I'd believe in him just this once, and if he can prove himself to me, we won't have to divorce. But that way of thinking was too naive. It seems I shouldn't have even bothered. Even so, I still had to speak to him directly. I wanted to know what was going on and what he was thinking. I thought maybe I could still make things right. At least, that's what I thought. Hey! All my stuff's been thrown outside. What's the meaning of this?
It's exactly what it looks like. See, now you don't have to bother getting the movers to do it for you. I saved you some money since you don't seem to know how to spend it.
It's raining like crazy outside, but you thought it was a good idea to even throw my laptop out here. How heartless can you be?
That's rich coming from you, you blood-sucking leech. I told you I'd never let you step foot inside our house again, didn't I? I locked and chained up the front door too, so you can't force your way in.
This is going way too far. All my stuff's been ruined. I had so many important things on that laptop too. Why won't you listen to what I'm saying? I don't think I'm in the wrong here.
I wonder. Well, I suppose I'll put it like this. Between my adorable son and an ugly, money-hungry parasite like you. Who would you believe if you were in my shoes?
Did you talk to Scott?
Nope. I did try, but I couldn't get a connection. I suppose he must be busy with his work. He's so dedicated to his job. He deserves every penny he gets.
I also tried and got the same result. Anyway, could you please let me inside for a little?
No way.
Please. It's cold. I don't have anywhere else to go.
Nope.
Inside that house should be a promissory note. It should state that it was Scott who borrowed that money from someone.
So?
If you are able to get in contact with that someone, you should be able to verify that he personally racked up that debt by gambling.
That sounds fishy. I won't be buying that. How can I be sure I can trust that flimsy piece of paper anyway? You could have planted it there with a fake person it could contact, and you'd have that person deceive me. Stop sullying my son's good name at once. It's quite irritating.
Wow. That's a lot of work I'd have to put in just to deceive you. I don't have those kinds of connections or energy. I guess that doesn't matter though. It seems that no matter what I say, it really is pointless.
That's right. Give up. Your word means nothing against my son's.
I understand. I was already considering divorcing him once I heard he threw me under the bus to put himself in more debt. Besides, he's the one who's going to be in trouble if he loses me. I'm fine without him.
You're still going on about that nonsense, are you? I can't believe you think he needs you. The sheer nerve. Who's the one leeching money off of whom?
Thank you for putting up with me until now. I'll be leaving.
Just get out of here already, you useless piece of garbage.
Just let me say one last thing. I believed in your son as much as you're believing in him now. His debt was troubling, but I decided I was going to support him. As his wife, I wanted to trust him to do the right thing. But then he betrayed me. I'm the one who wants to cry here.
Whatever. Cry me a river. You'll be compensating us for the money you've been leeching off of us.
Right back at you. You'll be paying for the damages to my laptop, among other charges.
What a greedy little scoundrel you are. Who, in their right mind, would pay you anything?
It's a shame things had to end this way.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Finally, the witch is gone. No longer will my son have to suffer.
I see. I'll be leaving now then. Wait a second. Someone's here.
Who could that be?
I'm back.
Oh. Welcome back.
Where are you guys? I don't see you nor Mom anywhere. It feels kinda deserted, actually. Like no one's living here anymore.
That's because your mom and I have left the house now.
You... what?
Let's see. You know the chest where the telephone is? Open the first drawer.
Okay. Kinda cryptic. Why don't you just tell me what it is? What the... Why are divorce papers in here?
Just so you know, I already signed everything. Now, it's your turn. Oh, and there's another piece of paper underneath that one. Do you see it? Don't miss it now. It's very important.
Wait. Why does it say she's going to disown me? This isn't some sick prank, is it? Is this real?
That's right. So from now on, pay back that debt you owe all on your own. Because I will no longer be helping you, and you won't have anyone else on your side.
What's going on here? Explain it.
Well, Scott, while you were away on your business trip, all sorts of things happened.
What are you talking about? What could have possibly happened to have wound up with you divorcing me and my mom disowning me?
I'll start from the very beginning then. It all started with how you accused me of spending money recklessly, and using that as an excuse. You were borrowing as much as $10,000 from your mother.
Wait, why do you know that? I never told you.
Because I heard it straight from her. Why else? It's not like I'm wiretapping your phone or planting cameras around the house.
Damn it, Mom. I told her to keep her mouth shut. And then, what happened next?
Well, she eventually hit her limit and flew into a rage. She couldn't tolerate the idea that I was racking up that debt and causing you to need money. And so I also spilled the beans and told her that you were knees deep in debt because of your gambling habits, and that I was helping you pay it back little by little. And so I posed the possibility that you had been borrowing that $10,000 from her to blow it all off on gambling.
Why would you do that? Can't you keep your mouth shut? God, can no one keep secrets around here?
Some secrets don't deserve to be kept. She was treating me like a parasitical witch based on things I never did. I wasn't going to just sit there and take it. I needed to defend myself.
Okay.
And then she just wouldn't listen to a word I had to say. She couldn't fathom you would ever do such a thing. So she shut me out.
She's always doted on me as her only son, so that checks out.
Oh, really? You're aware. And so you took advantage of that. I see how it is.
Don't change the subject. Just keep talking.
It turned into a huge mess. I came home to find all my stuff tossed out into the pouring rain. She told me over text to get out of there at once, and that she wouldn't let me inside.
And just as she told you, you left. So that's one mystery solved.
That's right. You made me look like the villain here for the money you were borrowing of your own accord. It's enough to make me want to divorce you because of that alone.
I see.
What kind of lukewarm response is that? You do know I was helping you pay that debt off, right? Were you just taking me for granted?
And what if I was? You're the one who said you were going to support me. I didn't ask you to.
I said that because I believed you wouldn't do it again. You're horrible.
Man, now I gotta find another woman to devote herself to me.
Don't start showing your true colors now, just because our divorce is set in stone. It's disgusting. At least let me believe there was some good left in you.
Shut up, woman. More importantly, where's Mom then? Based on how things were going, I have no idea why that ended up with her disowning me. That doesn't make sense.
I wonder.
Stop joking around and say it already.
Just as I'd gathered my belongings, all soaking wet. Mind you, a couple of gentlemen approached the house.
What? That's out of nowhere.
That's right. I guess calling them gentlemen might be a little too kind. They had some really scary faces. Does the name Cash Cow ring a bell? That's where they said they were from.
No way.
That's right. You borrowed some money from loan sharks of all people. They came to our house to take back what you owe them.
Unbelievable. They said they would leave my house alone?
Man, who knew you were willing to go that far to feed that nasty gambling addiction of yours? You sold your soul to the devil. You can't expect people like that to keep promises. Anyway, I had your mom open the front door to speak with them.
And what did they tell her?
You're 10,000 in debt to them. They had her see the promissory note you wrote in your handwriting too.
No way.
But you know what's really funny? She still didn't believe them. She absolutely refused to believe you'd ever gamble.
What? Really?
For some reason, she still thought you were borrowing money for my sake. And she refused to believe you'd borrow from loan sharks just to support my supposedly reckless spending habits. She thought it must have been a mistake or that they were lying.
Wow.
She truly loves you so much. She wanted to believe you wouldn't do anything wrong, especially not anything illegal. But those two men laughed and showed her a certain video.
What video? No, wait. You couldn't possibly mean...
Do you remember the time you were stripped down to your tighty-whities groveling on the floor? I'm sure you do.
She saw that. Damn. I thought they were bluffing.
In that video, you told them you lost 5,000 to the horse race yesterday and to please lend you another 5,000. You were on your hands and knees begging them to give you more money. And they were laughing at you.
No, that was nothing.
And then you added that you'd have me pay if you had to, and that your mom owns that house, so everything's fine, that they could claim it if they had to. And you said a few other things too. Need I go on?
Those were just some stuff. I said to get them off my back. I wasn't actually serious about any of it. In fact, I was already coming up with some other ideas to keep them satisfied without putting the burden on you guys.
After seeing that, even your mother couldn't deny the truth any longer. She collapsed in a sobbing fit. As she was wailing and crying, she got on her hands and knees to apologize to me. And then she started using her own clothes to dry off my belongings, telling me she'd pay for all the damages she caused. When I saw that, I felt I had an understanding with her, that she too was a victim here. She was just lashing out because she truly believed in the son she raised.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're a worthless, good-for-nothing son who lied to us. And your mother believed it because she trusted you. But you betrayed her. She realized the kind of person you really were. It was a huge shock. She's a victim too. Of course, she could stand to have been a little nicer, and you, no, not throw my belongings out into the pouring rain and damage my laptop. But when I saw her crying and sincerely apologizing to me, I couldn't find it in myself to be angry at her. She was a mother who just wanted to believe in the child she raised.
So what did you do then?
I told her that she should probably think about cutting ties with you soon. You're the real blight in our house. None of this would be happening if it wasn't for you. Because of that, your mother agreed to disown you.
How dare you? You put that idea in her head?
You reap what you sow. You thought of us as nothing more than collateral. And now that you're involved with illegal business, staying associated with you is dangerous.
Damn it.
You don't feel any remorse at how you've treated your mother?
Nope, none at all. What's so bad about a son using his mother? Parents exist for their kids.
I can't believe you're this much of a human piece of garbage. I need to get better taste in men. I'm so disappointed in my poor judge of character, I could hurl.
Shut up.
By the way, your mother has been reading all these messages.
What? Why?
And she's decided to sell the house and the plot of land it sits on.
That doesn't make sense. Why would she do that?
It seems she's completely determined to cut all ties with you. She's going to move into a cheap apartment, and she's going to use the money from the sale to help me out. I won't have to worry about the new apartment or what it'll cost to get new furniture. She said that's the least she could do for me.
So what's gonna happen to me?
How about you find a new place to live for starters? Though with how far you're in debt, I think you'll have a hard time finding a place willing to rent to you. Your credit score's probably in the toilet.
Just hold on here. Why are things turning out like this?
You can say whatever you want, but this is your punishment for the trouble you caused your mother and me. Reflect on your actions and regret them at the very least.
No way.
Oh, I have one last thing I'd like to ask you about. You were lying about going on a business trip. So what were you doing exactly? Let me guess, you were gambling.
What?
See, your mother and I couldn't get in contact with you, so I was curious. I called your workplace to ask about you, but they said you were taking paid time off. How strange.
Well, that's, there's a totally reasonable explanation for that.
It's the end for us anyway. You might as well say it. Although, I guess you don't have to either.
It was poker. I was staying over at an acquaintance's house, and they were playing that there. And while I joined in, my phone battery died.
In other words, you were gambling. You really are human garbage.
To be honest, I racked up some more debt there. I'm really in trouble. You have to help me. I'm begging you, don't abandon me.
Have fun cleaning up that mess yourself.
Just wait. Don't leave me.
After that, we managed to get a divorce, and my mother-in-law successfully sold off her house. My former husband, who just lost his place to live, had to start living a life of cheap motels and instant noodles, stressing over his ever-growing mountain of debt. But he couldn't take it anymore with the loan sharks after him, and he tried to flee. Because of that, he was, of course, fired from his workplace for taking time off without permission. His main source of income went poof, just like that. In the end, he was caught, and now he's being forced to work dangerous and difficult jobs to pay off that debt, from morning until night, seemingly never-ending. And, of course, I'm thinking about recovering the money I used to help him pay off that debt. It might take quite some time, but I won't let him get away with taking advantage of my kindness.